Good afternoon, Cross Timbers. Today is April 12th, 2013. This is Texan TV news from the Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville, Texas, and I'm Ashley Ehler. In today's headlines, Tarleton's Silver Tap Ceremony honors fallen Texans. Tarleton's Speaker Symposium will be Texas Music. Erath County Consumer Decision-Making Teams excel at district contest. A rainy spring is easing dry conditions. Charter bus flips off a Texas highway, killing 2. Chicago store owners protects property with baseball bat. Internet group Anonymous comments on suicide of 17-year-old bullying victim. Uruguay legalizes gay marriage. Bull Street busters, as well as this weekend's weather. In campus news, Tarleton State University hosted its Texan Battalion Silver Tap Ceremony, presented by Tarleton's ROTC program, the Division of Advancement in External Relations, and the Tarleton Alumni Association. The ceremony honored the memory of all students, faculty, staff, alumni, and friends lost from March 15, 2012 to March 15, 2013.
Our fallen Tarleton brothers and sisters, the presentation of their candles. Corner guards, please post. Rusty L. Aaron. William A. Alexander. Robbie A. Alford. Clay H. Anderson. Gracie Ray Anger. Brandon D. Bailey. Marguerite Kelso Bauer. Ruth C. Harris Marlin. Norman Fifth Barnes. Dorothy D. Rosamond E. Brown, Jamie J. Tyler, J. R. Hurley, Raymond H. Wade.
Also, in campus news, the final presentation of the year in Tarleton's Speaker Symposium will be Texas Music. A state so big it has its own music will be held on Monday, April 22nd in the OA Grant Building, room 117 at 7:30 p.m. The panel will be compiled of Terry Hendricks, Lloyd Maines, Richard Gaines, and Tarleton alum Larry Joe Taylor. The panelists will be discussing their music and their careers. Dr. Marcy Tanter stated that it would be interesting for students to hear from people from the industry. These are people that are making a career out of music, and we wanted the students to know what that would be like. In local news, according to the Stephenville Empire-Tribune, Erath County Consumer Decision-Making Teams made an outstanding showing at the district contest in Waco on March 2nd. The junior team consisted of Remington Back, Morgan McKenzie, Alexis Nelson, and Shanna Starnes. Morgan McKenzie received 5th high individual, and the team was 4th out of 8 teams. In the intermediate age division, Erath County Team 1 consisted of Alyssa Adams, Riley McKenzie, and Victoria Cicero. Erath Team 2 consisted of Jake Bagby, Weston Pierre, and Nathan Starnes. Riley McKenzie was 1st high individual out of 42 participants, and Jake Bagby was the 5th high individual. The all-girls team was 2nd overall, and the all-boys team was 3rd overall. The senior team consisted of Colton Back, Peyton Whitfield, and Quentin Whitfield. The teams was coached by Jeff and Melanie Royal, Deanna Powell, and Elizabeth Starnes. And now, today's Texas national and international news from the Associated Press. In Texas news, a cool, rainy spring is easing dry conditions in parts of the nation's farm belt that saw the worst of last year's drought. But optimism is being tempered as that weather pattern has kept anxious farmers in most of Iowa, Nebraska, Illinois, and Wisconsin from planting. The latest drought monitor released Thursday shows snowmelt and rain replenished ground moisture in parts of eastern Iowa, northern Illinois, and southern Wisconsin. Central Iowa counties are improved but still short of moisture. Rain was helped drought-parched areas of Texas, Oklahoma, and Nebraska, but many counties remain woefully dry. There is enough topsoil moisture in much of the farm belt to allow plants to emerge, but no deep moisture to rely on if the rain stops again. Also, in Texas news from the Associated Press, Texas authorities say at least 2 people were killed and more than 40 were hospitalized after a charter bus careened off a North Texas highway and flipped onto its side.
It was determined there was a single vehicle involved, a motor coach traveling north on 161 for an as yet undetermined reason, traveled off the roadway and struck what's called an impact attenuator on the right-hand shoulder of the roadway. It glanced off that rubber attenuator back across the two lanes, still traveling northbound, went into a grassy area, rode up on top of the concrete divider that divides the north and southbound lanes. Traveled on that divider for a short distance and then rolled over on its right-hand side. I do know that it was headed to one of the casinos up in Oklahoma.
What we had was a mass casualty incident. This was a commercial bus line that overturned, and we initiated rescue of several of the patients and transported a total, now I'm getting of 41, so a total of 41 transports.
In national news, according to the AP, bail is set at $750,000 for one of 2 men facing charges in the shooting of a Chicago shop owner whose resistance with a baseball bat was captured by a security camera. 53-year-old Cornell Mack was charged Thursday with attempted murder and armed robbery. Police are still searching for the second suspect in the case. A video shows Louis Quishpe on Tuesday beating one of the robbers with the bat, who was holding a gun on the owner's brother-in-law. The gunman fired multiple shots at the owner of the store, hitting him in the leg. But the wound didn't stop Quishpe's counterattack. Quishpe's brother-in-law is also seen fighting off a robber. Mack is hospitalized with a gunshot wound to the chest. Cook County Assistant State's Attorney Aaron Antoinetti says Mack was shot by his accomplice. In international news, Canada is looking further into the case of 17-year-old girl who hanged herself after an alleged rape and months of bullying. This incident occurred after a photo, said to be of the assault, was shared online and no charges were filed against the 4 teenage boys being investigated. The death of Rehtaeh Parsons on Sunday has provoked an outcry across North America. Nova Scotia's Justice Minister said Thursday he had appointed 4 government departments to look into her case. The government came under criticism after Justice Minister Ross Landry initially ruled out the possibility of reviewing the way the Royal Canadian Mounted Police handled allegations that Parsons was sexually assaulted in November of 2011. After a year-long investigation, police concluded there were no grounds to charge the 4 teenage boys. Landry later changed course, saying he had asked senior officials for options to review how the Mounties and the Public Prosecution Service concluded they could not file charges. A group reported to be the cyber activist Hackers Anonymous said it would avenge the teen's death. In a public statement released online Thursday morning, the group criticized officials involved in the investigation of the alleged rape and bullying and said it was in the process of confirming the identities of the accused rapists. Our demands are simple. We want the Nova Scotia Mounted Police to take immediate legal action against the individuals in question. We encourage you to act fast. If we were able to locate these boys within 2 hours, it will not be long enough before someone else finds them, the statement said. Leah Parsons said her daughter hanged herself last week. Parsons said one boy took a photo of the alleged assault and her daughter was subjected to bullying after it went viral. In other international news from the AP, Uruguay's legislature voted overwhelmingly on Wednesday to legalize gay marriage. The country's president is expected to put the law into effect within 10 days.
De la Cámara de Senadores está a consideración los que estén por la afirmativa. ¿71 en 92 afirmativo?
Now for sports. According to the Associated Press, suddenly Chicago is the place where long winning streaks go to die. The time it was Carmelo Anthony and the Knicks going down. Late last month, it was LeBron James and the Miami Heat. Nate Robinson scored a season-high 35 points, and Chicago rallied for a 118-111 overtime victory to stop New York's 13-game run. Anthony missed a potential winner at the end of regulation, and Robinson took over down the stretch, scoring 8 points in overtime to lift the Bulls to another stretch-breaking win on a charged night that had the feel of a postseason game. Chicago's Jimmy Butler said it was a crazy playoff atmosphere. To tell you the truth, against a playoff team. He continued to say he felt like it's helping the team. Butler finished with 22 points. Luol Deng scored 16, and the Bulls busted a long run for the second time in about 2 weeks span. After ending the Heat's 27-game streak, the second longest in NBA history, on March 27th. And now, the weather for this weekend. According to the weatherchannel.com, today we'll see a high of 75 degrees with a low of 48 and a 0% chance of precipitation. Tomorrow will be a high of 76 with a low of 52 and a 10% chance of precipitation. And Sunday we'll see a high of 86 degrees with a low of 61 and a 0% chance of precipitation. Today's broadcast was produced by Monet Gerald, Ian Traub, Kendra Gare, Sam Townsend, and Tatiana Clemens. You can follow the Texan News Service on Facebook and Twitter, and check us out on our website at www.texannews.net. I'm Ashley Eller. Tune in Monday for the latest news from the Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville, Texas.